سائر للدين حتما سائر فالقدس صاحت غادر أتمى فؤاد الطاهر.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah. Today we have superpowers. I have Sheikh Abdullah next to me, and I have one and only Sheikh Maulana Islam.
I love being on the show, man. Everyone calls me Sheikh.
Just quickly, everybody, we alhamdulillah blessed today to have our great friend, mashallah, who's the Imam of the prison, who's been released from prison to come and join us today.
He's keeping a straight face, but he's loving this. He's loving it. I can tell. Look at his face.
Day release. As we know, some people are locked throughout Ramadan.
You just called me shaitan now. You just called me shaitan.
I never said that.
You just called me
You
shaitan.
call him from Luton, you bring him here and then you insult him.
How
Insulting
dare
him.
would I do that? But the brother has come all the way from Luton.
How dare you just done it on front of camera, brother? The audience are seeing this.
He's come all the way from Luton, and he's mashallah. The work and effort that mashallah the brothers do, and the charity work that they do for Fountain of Mercy, and one of the most important things that alhamdulillah the association with Sheikh here, who's closely associated with Al Aqsa, constantly traveling to Al Aqsa, and which makes it even more amazing to talk about it. Moving on swiftly, let's jump into the topic that we left on. We spoke about Hazrat Sulaiman, Hazrat Dawood alayhi salam, and how they were connected. Just on that note, let's talk about a person who's so, mashallah, amazing in character that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that person's name directly, and the only female to be directly quoted in the Quran by name.
Whole chapter as well. A whole chapter in the Quran is mentioned about this.
So Sheikh, can you just quickly mention that name?
Don't you know the name?
I do, but I want to give you the opportunity to say it.
Sheikh Abdullah.
Okay, let's give it to Sheikh Abdullah.
Surah Maryam,
mashallah. So children out there and those that are listening, if you don't know, now you do. Surah Maryam, and Surah Maryam is named obviously after Maryam. You may have heard of Maryam, but might have heard in school someone called Mary, who is the mother of Jesus, Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. So in Islam, her name is Maryam, and this is who we're going to be speaking about today, inshaAllah.
Ustadh Abdullah, where was Maryam alayhi salam born, and where was she from originally?
She was born in Bayt al-Muqaddas in Palestine, Jerusalem, and she resided there, and she lived most of her life in Bayt al-Muqaddas in Jerusalem. Before she was born, actually, her mother, she wanted a son rather than a daughter, because she wanted to sacrifice a son in the path of the religion.
Ustadh Abdullah, you've just said quickly on that note, we all said we want a son that's going to continue the work of
yes, subhanallah,
deen,
yes.
Son's going to do everything, which alhamdulillah they do, but Sheikh, is it only sons that do?
Let me tell you something. Actually, this is going to go on too long. You should have got me on here today. The truth is, even the people that don't follow Islam, they've got this mentality that it's just men and we degrade women. Allahu Akbar. If they were to read, and if people out there that don't believe in Islam, if they were to read Surah Maryam, if they were to know about Maryam alayhi salam and how much Allah and the Prophet teach us about the rights of women and so forth, you'll be surprised. Like I said, the whole chapter is about Maryam alayhi salam, and she was a female,
and Allah chose her to be the mother of one of the most powerful prophets to enter the world, and we'll come to that prophet in a second. But just quickly, on just few things that we want the viewers to know about.
Just a few basic points
about just how Hazrat Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam came and her association with Allah.
So Maryam alayhi salam, she was like Sheikh Abdullah said, she was the daughter of Imran and his wife, who's mentioned in the Quran as in the wife of Imran. They prayed to Allah, they were so pious.
Subhanallah, yes.
And they prayed to Allah that Allah, if you grant, because she was hamila, she was pregnant then, so she said, and they both said in the dua that if you grant us a child, if you grant us a boy, we make a vow that we will sacrifice him for the sake of Allah, for the sake of deen. And then when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him this child,
and it was a daughter.
It was a daughter.
Allah, yes.
It was a daughter. But in their mind, they thought they're going to have automatically a boy.
Yes.
Then what happened?
They're thinking, hey, how come?
Exactly. How come? And actually, Maryam, the mother of Maryam alayhi salam, she said, Allah, I thought I was going to have a boy.
Yes.
I asked for a son.
Yes.
But Allah said in the Quran that you have a daughter
who will do much more than a son would do.
And more than some will do, more than or some the equivalent of what men will do. In fact, she was so special that she did so much, and so much story, so many things that happened in her life when she was born.
Subhanallah.
You know, we want the viewers to go and read about it in details. We're just telling you a brief info, and what we want the people to understand that how Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam was from the children of Banu Israel, and in Jerusalem, in Palestine, in the Holy Land. And her story is even more amazing because there was, when you go in depth into a story, we read about how Allah protected her and how Allah chose her, and there was fruits that she was eating that
used to come from Jannah. Subhanallah.
You know, before all this, let's get these viewers to inshallah to understand, these lovely children that listen to understand. How did this happen? This didn't just happen. So Maryam alayhi salam, when she was born, she grew up, and at them times there used to be someone that used to be like a guardian to look after them. And guess who was the guardian?
Yes, the Prophet Zakaria
alayhi salam was the guardian that was in charge of looking after Maryam alayhi salam. And in Masjid al Aqsa, which we're focusing about inshallah this Ramadan in Palestine, in Masjid al Aqsa there's actually a mihrab.
If you go now, you'll still see the chamber.
Still there.
Yes,
so when you go there, that chamber is actually there's a
you go underground.
You go underneath the Masjid al Aqsa, and there's actually a part there that says
Marwani area, isn't it?
Yes. Next to Marwani, yes. So this part was actually for Maryam alayhi salam back then, that where the mihrab was, the chamber was, where Maryam alayhi salam would worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Where the food will come.
Where the food, everything was there.
Yes.
And then Zakaria alayhi salam came once and found that there was a plate of fruits there,
and that's not in season.
It was in season fruits.
Subhanallah. Yes.
It's like having apples in December.
Yes.
You don't get apples in December.
Yes.
So when he saw this, he asked.
Unless you live in England, you get it.
I meant from the tree, right? Come on. Them apples you probably get from another country. But anyway, so Zakaria alayhi salam saw this and questioned it, that Maryam, where is this coming from?
Yes.
Off season,
off season fruits.
Yeah. So Maryam alayhi salam said, this is from Allah.
Subhanallah.
Why are you, what's it to question about? It can happen from Allah gives when you
miracles
want.
Happen.
Who he wants,
yes.
exactly.
Miracles
Ustadh
happen.
Abdullah, Hazrat Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam, her piety was at another level.
Subhanallah, yes.
And Allah chose her, and I think we're going to discuss this in our next episode. What just tell the viewers quickly, what did Allah choose her for? And who is she associated with?
Allah chose her to be the mother of Isa alayhi salam. Subhanallah. How great is that?
Prophet.
Our Prophet. Subhanallah.
And that story is even amazing.
Allahu
and if we had enough time, we could have explained.
Yes.
But she was the mother of
Isa alayhi salam.
Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. Which again, we're trying to tell the people how blessed this land was. That we've just mentioned few prophets, like Dawood, Sulaiman, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Then we've said Zakaria. Then we said Yahya. Well, we never mentioned about Yahya, but
Yaqub alayhi salam.
Yaqub alayhi salam. And now we're going to a female, Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam, and then her son, which was miraculous how he was born. Inshallah, we'll discuss that in our next episode.
Inshallah.
And we'll tell the viewers a bit more about that. Is that okay?
Inshallah.
Can we keep you for a bit longer?
I think time's run out, but there's quite a lot even to say about Zakaria alayhi salam, and obviously Maryam alayhi salam and so forth. But yeah, you're right. We'll
Inshallah, on the next session, we'll continue with the
bit about
story.
Maryam alayhi salam, and then we'll go into Isa alayhi salam.
Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.